For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
The people in the ghetto trust the system. We pay tribute to an individual we could probably consider to be the best female broadcaster in St. Lucia. And also we have a debate that has been raging on social media, political debate involving the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party. Therefore, our Facebook question of the day. What's the question? Okay, you know. Who is best suited to lead the United Workers' Party and why? Since after the general election of 2021, people have been asking whether it should be Alan Chasney or some other individual who should be at the helm of the UWP. And so we pose the question to you today, whether you're a supporter of the UWP or the SLP or this, yes, there's a party called this, THISS, or whether you're supporting any political party at all. This question is definitely for you. I'll have my response in just a bit. Somebody says, Alan is a true leader, one with a vision for St. Lucia. No wonder our country was doing fairly well under his leadership. VAT went down, GDP over 12%, and massive investment was on the way. But St. Lucia got fooled because we listened to the lies of the other side. Another person says, Shas is the best leader I've seen so far to run the UWP. Another comment, Alan Chasney, of course, Tim. Who else? The man with a vision for St. Lucia. Somebody says, leadership is about vision. Where do you see your team, company, country in the next 5 years? In my mind, Alan Chasney does carry the quality of a leader. I bought his vision 5 years ago, and I still believe Alan Chasney for leader. Another comment, for me, as for one who does not want to follow them political people, but did notice how Alan Chasney works, he works with a vision of how to better lives and living conditions, modern days, not back to the future, so let Alan lead. Another comment, Alan Chasney, in whom the Flobo Nation believes in. And we have a lot of other comments. Alan is talented beyond imagination, and he has proven how talented he is. Like Compton experienced in the 1980s, the average solution has not understood his forward-thinking first world policies. Somebody says, so Raya Alexander, because she thinks she's the only one Flabo listens to. Another person says, great, excellent, superb question. Looking forward to the show. Differences of opinion must be respected. And another person says, Alan Shastney is a true leader, and I wish him to stay as United Workers' Party leader. And let us fast forward to the final comment. Somebody says, Stevenson King or Richard Frederick. We had probably about over 40 responses to this question, of course. If you want to see them, go on to our NewsSpin Facebook page, and then you'll go through the responses item by item. Again, our NewsSpin Facebook question of the day: who is best suited to lead the United Workers' Party and why? Yesterday I saw this flyer on Facebook, and it's a ballot giving instruction on how to vote in the upcoming contest for the leadership of the United Workers' Party. And there's a photograph of Mr. Ezekiel Joseph, the former MP for Babonneau, former agriculture minister in the previous United Workers' Party administration. An X is placed next to his photograph. And then you have a photograph of Alan Shastney, without the X, of course. And there it says, how to vote for Ezekiel Joseph for political leader. Lower down, to rebuild and revitalize our great party. That's 1. 2, to re-establish our party base and faithfuls. 3, to secure our seats in government in the next elections. 4, to be truthful at all times. And 5, to account for our state account through transparency. Now, I don't know if this is coming from the camp of Mr. Ezekiel Joseph, or if Mr. Ezekiel Joseph will be contesting the leadership of the UWP, which is scheduled for later this year. But I've not been able to confirm that he is interested in contesting the leadership of the UWP, and I've heard some other names as well. The big question: if you are, you might feel it's not your business, but if you are a supporter of the St. Lucia Labour Party, would you like Mr. Alan Shastney to continue to be at the helm of the United Workers' Party and going forward for your party to contest the next general elections against Mr. Alan Shastney? Or do you believe it's none of your business? You don't care. You're just preoccupied with what is happening with the St. Lucia Labour Party. I remember there was a period when the St. Lucia Labour Party was in the doldrums, beleaguered, having lost the 2016 general election. And even before he bowed out, many people were saying that, no, they're not interested. Particularly supporters of the UWP were saying that the St. Lucia Labour Party should show Dr. Kenny Anthony the door. And even I think after the 2006 general election, many supporters of the UWP were calling for the SLP to replace Dr. Kenny Anthony as political leader. But the SLP persevered with Dr. Kenny Anthony, and we all know that he won the poll in 2011. I've always said, and I'll stick to this, whatever is happening within a political party, whether it's in government or it's in opposition, should interest all of us in the country, because it has implications for us, because one way or the other it can affect us. So if you have the wrong person at the helm of an established political party, whether it's the SLP or the UWP, that person within a given period, if they're able to convince the masses that they should be given an opportunity to serve, irrespective of having a shady character, irrespective of incompetence, irrespective of not having what it takes, etc., can determine your future in the event they serve as Prime Minister of the country. So people in the SLP should be concerned about what is happening with the United Workers' Party and its leadership. But that concern is not always sincere coming from the supporters from the opposite side. So when people were saying, particularly supporters of the United Workers' Party, were advising the leadership or members of the St. Lucia Labour Party that they should not support Dr. Kenny Anthony returning to the helm of the party after he lost the 2006 general election, I don't believe that was sincere. I believe that very often those people who take a deep interest in what is happening in the opposite side, if they give you an advice, if they tell you keep this individual as political leader, go in the opposite direction. If they tell you do not keep that person as the leader of your party, it's because they fear that individual. And I think then in 2006, supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party supporters of the United Workers' Party, feared Dr. Kenny Anthony because they saw in him a formidable politician, an individual, as he demonstrated, was capable of regaining the seat of power, which it did in 2011. And I believe the same obtains for supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party right now, who are advising the United Workers' Party to kick Alan Shastey out of the leadership of the UWP because they fear what he can do come the next general election, because he takes no prisoner. Whether you like him or not, Alan Shastey takes no prisoner, and he takes the fight to the St. Lucia Labour Party right now. And I know that many of you supporters of the SLP in particular were just there waiting, salivating. What would happen when the Parliament would meet and Alan Shastey would be the leader of the opposition? He would be there, beleaguered, weak, and he would be humiliated. But so far, he definitely has taken the fight to the St. Lucia Labour Party. Left to be seen whether the United Workers' Party will decide to continue to support him to be their leader or not. It is a democracy. It is for the UWP to make that determination. But if I were in the UWP camp, I would say continue to invest in Alan Shastey, because for now he is your best hope. What say you to this? 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. That's 716-2026. What is happening in the chat room in terms of your discussions? I think we already have a call, and we'll be going to that call in just a moment. Somebody says Tim Kenny was the worst thing to ever happen in the politics of St. Lucia. Another person says, Tim, you're speaking facts. Another comment, if not Alan, I will not vote. And let's see some more of your reactions in the chat room as we continue to go through those comments. Somebody says the SLPs are busy promoting Ezekiel, LOL. If not Shaz, I think Bradley would be a good leader. Let's see if we have another comment there. Okay. All right, let's go to the lines. I think we have a call. Do we? No. Right, let's take a WhatsApp call. All right, we have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
I like the way you put it. Tim, you cannot put it better than that. The only and best hope the United Workers' Party and St. Lucia have really right now is Alan Shaftney. And it was a mistake in 2021 election not to put Alan Shaftney at the helm of this country. And I listened to you very closely in your preamble. Very close, listen to you with an attentive ear. It is one thing to say when you're in opposition and one thing to do when you're in government. Looking at I think you call her name Ezekiel Joseph. Mm-hmm. You vow for the leadership. This party right now is I mean they need a strong leader right now. They need a leader that is financially capable to run that party. Those names that you are hearing all over the place who want to vow to contest the leadership for that party. I mean, looking at them.
But caller, I have no evidence to prove that, eh? And in the final analysis, is the delegates will be making that determination.
I quite agree. Mm-hmm. I'm agree. I'm concur with you. Looking at them in the last election, they lost. They lost the seat. And the individual in question, you mentioned the name, which is Ezekiel Joseph. That is not the first time a lady has beat him twice in an election. That's not the first time he has had trouble with that. There was a time you had by 1 vote and 2 vote. This time around, it was not 1 and 2 vote. Tim, you cannot take the future of St. Lucia. And it is the same thing that the harvest that we are having right now, you know. The St. Lucia Labour Party at that time after Kenny did not have any capable person to, a formative, because the PLJP was the leader of the opposition. And for some reason, he became the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And you see today what is happening. That is why we have to look at the best person for that position. And we have to accept it because he was the leader of the opposition. And they put him in charge. And check where we are today. And that is why you need to look at the best person to run the affairs, not just the affairs of a political party, the affairs of this country. Anyway, let me move quickly and let me just leave that there for now. Tim, when it comes to the accident on our roads, I think you may have a lot of accidents. There was one in Mikut South in Derry, so unfortunately young guy, well known, a gentleman, my next door neighbor, perished in another accident. It's true, we have some drivers that are very careless on our roads, very, very careless. But Tim, you need to look at the state of our roads. You cannot tell me you drive on a national highway from Beaufort to Castries and you have to touch pothole on the highway. That cannot be, that cannot accepted. And I don't know if you agree with me. You cannot have pothole on a main highway, on a national road, which is your speed limit of 40 miles an hour. That cannot be accepted. And we are paying tax, price of gas, price of this and tires and name it. I mean, the pothole should be patched and patched proper. Some of the patches are bumpy. When the time you leave the right surface to go on that, you get in another upper drum. That, I mean, this is really, when last a person take government or Minister of Infrastructure to court for tire bursting or damaging the tire and pothole on a highway?
Okay, caller, thank you so much. Let's take another call via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from the diaspora.
Good afternoon.
Right. Thank you for reassuring us that Shasne is the best candidate, okay? So all the naysayers and the hackalacks and those fighting for position, tell them stay away. And even Ezekiel, tell Ezekiel to go down to Deriso, go and look for his vote down there. I thank you, Tim. Blessed afternoon to you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let's continue with your calls. I think we have somebody on the line. 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages. 716-2026. 716-2026. We have lost that call, but let's take another call this time via WhatsApp as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yes, Tim. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good show as usual. Tim, yesterday coming to Chesterfield. That's in connection with the accident on the 24th of February. And actually, they sent me back to traffic to talk to ASP. When I got there, the lady welcomed me and stuff. We had a nice talk. I'm just letting St. Lucia know. She's very professional, a very young lady. She listened to me carefully, and she told me she's going to deal with the matter. She called me this morning, and she assured me that she'll get in touch with the police officer. I'm not going to mention name yet. So she said as soon as she speaks to the officer and she gets the file, she will call me, and then I'll come in and they will talk to me. But Tim, let's let that one there now. We're talking about politics. I heard you talk about the political thing, what is really happening here. But in my opinion, Tim, I believe the name that I'm hearing and you're hearing different names. I heard about that Ezekiel Joseph, but in my opinion, is the delegates who have the seat. That's one. In my opinion, Ezekiel cannot lead from the front. I am saying he cannot lead from the front because when he lost by 2 votes, that was it. That means he was not interested in the Babono people that take all the time to go to the polling box and vote him in. And they lost by 2 votes. He could have won.
No, but caller, there have been instances where candidates have lost by 1 vote. Those things do happen in a caller. Is when you lose by a vote and by 2 votes, and you hack back to your performance. Maybe you said, well, you should have campaigned more intensely and so on.
That nice thing, me man. Let me finish it out. I'm not going to waste my time, but the people could have wasted time in the polling station lines, following you all where you go. That wasn't waste time. But you waste the people's time because you didn't want them to fight it. You know, and now you see a hole. The only man, in my opinion, people make mistakes. Alan was not, perfect, 100% perfect. But the only man that could lead from the front right now is Alan Shastney. You understand? And those guys behind the scene want to pay delegates and to do all kind of things to, to try to prevent the man from getting leader. But let me tell them, he will prevail at the next convention. And I want to send a clear message to the Hakalaks on the other side. The former Prime Minister was lazy. He was not listening. If he was listening, when Sir John, when Sir John was sick and he was leading from the front, if he was listening, that's an election he would have not lost. You understand? He wasn't listening. And you know who make him lost? He rubbing shoulders right now. They're talking about blue independence. That's what it is in the Labour Party right now. We don't want none of these guys. Tim, you could go up right now. I would vote for you. But I can never vote for these 2 guys. These guys, man, the way I look at it, they betray the electorate. They betray St. Lucians. They don't really care about that. The only thing they care about is power. Getting condos there, that one there, and all kind of things. Look at the state the country is. With all the lies after lies. Look at where the country stands. Nobody care about this country. You understand? And St. Lucian made a mistake. You understand? Because they're going to put the government in power, thinking that they will get 1,500, thinking they would get big contract, thinking they would buy a house over 400,000, thinking they could buy a car for about 100 grand. Up to now, they cannot deliver.
Okay, caller. All right, thank you so much. The people did not make a mistake when they voted for the St. Lucia Labour Party during the last general election. The people did not make a mistake when they voted for the SLP in 97, the SLP in 2001, the UWP in 2006, the UWP in 2016. The people did not make a mistake. The people made their choice. The people decided to vote for one government or another. That is a decision that you have to live with when you decide to go to the polls and elect a particular candidate or particular party into office. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, caller. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, everybody talks about the amount of accidents we have on roads. But, Tim, in the 70s, we used to have traffic officers and motorcycles, and they used to patrol our highways, you know. But now you drive from Viewfort to Castries, Castries to Viewfort, you don't find a traffic officer on a motorcycle patrolling the roads. So, you know, people take advantage that they feel there are no traffic officers on the way. They drive reckless. They drive with a lot of speed on the roads, like they don't care. But we pay taxes. We pay taxes on motor vehicle insurances, on everything. And then there's nobody to protect nobody on these roads. We need more traffic officers to patrol the roads. That would help to curb down accidents. Tim, this was my contribution today. Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir. We have another caller line. Good afternoon. Thanks for holding on. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
PW, and a pleasant good afternoon to the international listeners all over the world. Peter, PW on the line. Timothy, let's go along with me.
So P stands for Peter.
Peter, yes, Peter.
Go ahead.
Listen. If you know you are going to defeat your opponent, why should you try to get him out of the race? I'm wondering, because if I know I'll defeat a man, I would try my best to have his party to keep him there. Let me defeat him once and for all again. So you see, they don't want Alan Chasney because Alan Chasney is the biggest threat. And this is true. This is true. I haven't seen one other person in the United Workers' Party and in the St. Lucia Labour Party can lead this country. A country that needs development, a country that needs a reduction in VAT, a country that needs, you know, a livable wage, an affordable wage. Alan Chasney is the man that can provide that for this country. And I will tell you, there will be people that will infiltrate the United Workers' Party and try to cause chaos. But they will not succeed at no avail. They will not succeed. We only need true people, people that can work for the benefit of the people and that can work for the benefit of the country. We do not need people, you know, that would go along with the yes say and the no say. We want people that can work for the development of this country, and we will not allow people to infiltrate this United Workers' Party to cause chaos. We are only looking for true supporters. This is what we are looking for, true supporters, loyal supporters that will bring us to victory in the next coming general election. Timothy, Alan Chasney is the man to lead us. I thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now, I do not have a horse in the race. It's just that anything to do with politics, as I said earlier on, the leadership of a political party, determining that can have implications for the people of the country. So what happens in the SLP as far as its leadership is concerned, and rest assured, very soon we will be facing a similar situation with regard to a new leader emerging. If, for example, Mr. Philip J. Pierre decides to bow out, and you have, let's say, if you have Dr. Ernest Hilaire wanting to make a run for it, if you have probably Dr. Kenny Anthony wanting to return to the helm, Alva Baptiste, Sean Edward, etc., you could have a successional problem. And then, as people in the country will take everything into consideration in terms of the future, in terms of the viability of the country, in terms of stability, You focus on what is happening within those political parties and you express your opinion. So I'm expressing my opinion on this particular issue because I believe it will have implications not only for the United Workers' Party, for the country, but also it is our business as a people. We have somebody holding on. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Two-time journalist of the year.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
What's happening?
I am okay, caller.
What's happening? Good afternoon to my comrade Banadil people, and good afternoon to the Flasher people. Tim, that question that you asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
That tells me how far ahead Barbados Beijing are as far as intelligence is concerned. How far ahead Beijing is ahead of St. Lucia as far as intelligence is concerned. Let me tell you why. Nowhere in the world you would find a Beijing carrying a stock of making Ezekiel Joseph a leader. Nowhere in the world, any Beijing, any of them. And they tell you what, when you be drinking, when you be smoking, nobody can discuss that.
Yeah, but caller, let's be fair. Let's be fair to Mr. Ezekiel Joseph, because I have not been able to confirm that Mr. Ezekiel Joseph is interested in the leadership of the UWP. I came across this flyer on Facebook. Somebody is basically advising people how they should vote in the upcoming leadership of the United Workers' Party. Put the X by Ezekiel Joseph, etc.
That will work in St. Lucia. That will work in St. Lucia. That will work in St. Lucia because St. Lucians are gullible people. Okay? In Barbados, let me tell you something.
So that means you're gullible, you're St. Lucian, right?
Listen to me. I said St. Lucians are gullible.
But you're St. Lucian.
Take out you like, I'm a born bred St. Lucian.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. There was a prime minister, a late prime minister of Barbados called Owen Arthur. Do you know how he won a seat? Do you know how he won a seat? He was beaten by a lady called Stabilika, but it was 5 votes or something like that. I can't remember the exact figure, but it was a single digit. The then prime minister, the leader of the party, JMGM Tom Adams, looked at Stabilika in the House of Assembly and said to her, "This is the first and last time you're going to sit in this House of Assembly." Tom took the matter to court and won. Stabilika, don't you think, you know what he told her? That man, Owen Arthur, is a future prime minister. That's what Tom told her. That man, Owen Arthur, is a future prime minister of this country. And this is going to be the first and last time you, Stabilika, you, the honorable member of St. Peter, you'll be sitting in this house, the first and the last. Guess what, Tim? That's what the first is. She sat in the house once, and that was it. The first and the last. But let me move on. I've been asking the question for years now. Who in the world, which leader in the world could test the great man to Allah Michael Shasti? There's nobody. That's like saying that I can Batman and Brian Lara. Who's going to test that? That's like saying about Batman. That should show you the intelligence of St. Lucia. St. Lucians are just, St. Lucians' intelligence are very, very low. IQ are very low. Who do argue that? Who argues that, man? Alan Shasti is in a class by himself. Alan Shasti, the great man, is in a class by himself. He's the Kelly Cock. A man like him who in a seat. A man like him who hold up to a seat. They're catching a charge. They want to get rid of the great man because they know there's nobody that can beat the great man. There's nobody that can take the great man that is a son and his side with to the SLP. And they're trying they're playing it, but I think they're playing those guys to come forward. The Shasta can eat them and shoot them and spit them out. Come on.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. Somebody says that the people in the ghetto do not trust the system. All that and more coming up in just a moment as we continue to watch NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube and listen to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM.
For you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
The biggest party in sport is back for the 10th year of CPL. And the St. Lucia Kings want to go all the way this year. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever. And with the return of our very own Johnson Charles to the Kings team. The games are between 7th and 11th of September. Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
When I speak to the guys on the block, I said, boss man, nothing running. I said, stop being a victim. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Rise up.
So in just a moment, you'll be hearing from Mr. Philip J. Pierre again, this time speaking about the people in the ghetto. That was Philip J. Pierre speaking in July of this year. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says that we're having some interruption in the service in V4 via radio. Please bear with us. We are trying to rectify this problem as we speak. I think we have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Good afternoon.
Team who say a captain of football team, maybe n'importe team non captain et puis ou trouver quoi situation ça quand c'est difficile là chasser trouver quoi là politically speaking espérance c'est moun nan ka resign sa personne dit sorti c'est un dangereux défi et puis moi pas contredire moun qui ka dit quoi les chasse les candidats mais l'histoire nous apprend à pièce politiciens qui lead à partir de l'élection qui fait quoi nous quoi automatiquement la pas de confiance à donc l'élection ça pas de l'élection maman là pas élection quoi moi.
OK, so si pas chasse qui mon voulait pour lead parti flamboa. Ça c'est ça ou quoi ça c'est ça ou on te sent ça? Hello? Oh, lost the caller. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026 What the caller said there, in case you don't understand the English, if you're in the diaspora and you don't understand the Creole, what he said was, considering the magnitude of that defeat, if it were a game of football, the captain automatically would have to go. So the same obtains as far as politics is concerned. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Poleon.
Yes. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm all right, thank you. I just wanted to make a contribution this afternoon.
Go right ahead.
I wanted to make a contribution.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Usually I listen to talk shows, but they don't always inspire me. But today I call because your topic interests me. When we look at somebody, a candidate for leadership of our party, we need to know certain qualities to look for in that individual. So I have gone online and I have looked at qualities of good leadership or good leader. And here's what I came up with. So those who are looking for leadership in our country will not just look color or personality or popularity. They will look at certain qualities before they choose a leader. And here are some qualities: honesty, integrity, intelligence, competence, courage, love for people, communication skills, respectful, resilient, problem solver, empathetic, flexibility, focus, humility, innovative, passionate, patient. Those are qualities as we select leaders in our country or for any position, whether it be a corporation, a church. We look for these qualities. We don't choose people just because we like them. And so I hope St. Lucians are listening today. When they think about leadership in any party, they look for people that will get the job done and that care individually care for people, not just there because the position gives them clout. So I hope today, as people make their contribution on your show, they will not just talk about who they like or who they dislike, but they will think of those qualities. Look at them, measure these men based on their past. What have they achieved? What have they accomplished? How do they treat their own people? Are they in leadership for themselves? That's what I would like for our country, not just choose people because we like them or because they are of a certain ethnic group. And I hope this will be a help today. That's
now, ma'am, can I ask you a question? So if you were a delegate, who would you vote for? Would you want to be your leader in the United Workers' Party?
Would I want to be a leader?
Who would you want to be the leader of the United Workers' Party?
I am not mentioning names, but I have evaluated every leader in that party as well as the Labour Party. And certainly, I don't vote by color and I don't vote by popularity. I study what these people have done over the years. I read about them, and that's how I make a decision. And that's what every St. Lucian who's intelligent and smart would do. They don't vote for people year after year because of color, and the country is not progressing forward. I was listening to Mr. Gonzague this morning, and the man went to Taiwan, he went to Morocco, and he came back, and he's giving a report of what transpired over there and how he wants to move his country forward. I was inspired by that man. Whether he does it or not, but at least he came back and he said, this is what I've seen, this is what I want for my country, and we are going to move forward with it. Too many times our St. Lucians just quarrel, they fight, and the people they vote into power do nothing for the country. Rather than moving forward, St. Lucia is moving backwards. Don't you think we have enough intelligent people overseas to come back and help our country move forward? They don't come because of that. Too much infighting. We need to think deeper than that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really appreciate it. Somebody says, very good lady. Another person says, is this lady talking about me? And let's see if we have some more of your comments. Somebody said, I think she's describing Shas. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah. Tim, how much would it cost us if, for instance, the media and the way the news, people spin the news, would discourage the real people from taking part in politics? And we would end up with that kind of thing forever and ever, like it, forever infighting and that kind of class talk, that kind of talk about background. We need to look at people's background.
Okay, people must be able to sell themselves, caller, okay? See, nobody will come forward and sell you to the electorate. You must be able to sell yourself. So please, I don't want anybody blaming the media because a politician, somebody wants to be a politician, cannot sell himself or herself to the electorate, caller.
But it might be a problem endemic to the country because, you know, it happens all over the world. And maybe today, you understand, it's a matter of the person taking care of these issues like the leadership qualities in search of his background. But you're not interested. It doesn't make it the end of the world because I might interpret it as because I'm not on the SLP side or the UWP side. And the other people that are encouraged to come up with, you need to be able to handle them and every aspect of life in St. Lucia. Before you can even make a positive contribution. That's why people don't make good contributions on the air or even change the emphasis on why we have a talk show, you understand something. People pay current to listen and, you know, most of the issues we get people, me in particular, sick because you may look at it as a personal, I want to get a play. But I have my ways and means of doing it, and the explanation now would tell you what has been happening in St. Lucia, not necessarily in my life. And it'd be a good thing because many people who are tying up the country now, they would be exposed and they will have a chance to defend themselves. Maybe you don't know that kind of question could come from somebody outside there, not necessarily the opposition. They only question each other.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says that, Timothy, stop saying that. The people were fooled into making the wrong choice. I'll continue to say it, because no matter you're going to accuse our St. Lucian people of having a low IQ, you want to call our people stupid when it suits you, then on certain occasions you consider them to be erudite, consider them to be bright, intelligent people, etc. I believe that the people, when they go to the ballot box, when they go to the polling station, they give consideration to the individual they want to vote or the political party they want to vote into office. That is why ever so often over the last general election, they have startled many of the political pundits, many of the people who believe that they can predict the outcome of a general election. And come the next poll, the people of St. Lucia will do it all over again. You don't take the voters for granted. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. How about you?
I'm hanging in there, in there.
Go ahead, please.
Tim, your question, in my view, is a no-brainer, And I'll tell you why I say that. Alan Chasney has proven himself. Look at his record in government. 12.2% economic growth in the midst of the world's pandemic, COVID-19. When all economies around the world suffered, the economy suffered, Alan Chasney, under his leadership, his vision was able to grow St. Lucia's economy by 12.2%. Under Alan Chasney's leadership as Prime Minister, a number of St. Lucians got income support. They got help during COVID-19. Some of them were even non-contributors to the NIC. They got $1,500 in some cases, or they got $500. Under Alan Chasney's leadership, you saw a vision for St. Lucia. Leaders after leaders would come and just talk about leadership vision, but they would not see a vision. Apart from Sir John, who had a vision, and we saw his vision, Alan Chasney is second to Sir John. You saw his vision. You saw the country moving to the next level, and that's why he said, building a new St. Lucia. And that's why he also said, Alan Chasney, give him 3 years to turn around the mess that Kenny Anthony and the last Labour Party administration left. He said, give him 3 years. And in the 3 years, he was able to prove himself. We also look at, in terms of on the political side, Alan Chasney is the only leader, apart from Sir John, to have won an election for the United Workers' Party. That is factual. So when you look at Alan Chastain's leadership, what he has done for St. Lucia, it's just a lot. He has done a lot, and he has that vision. That's what's important, you know, because a country without a vision will always perish. And under this current SLP administration, we've seen that there's no vision, there's no plan. So that's why the country is in the mess that it is in today. But I'm just saying, Tim, when I look at the whole contribution of Alan Chastney, this is the best suited to run this country because he has that vision. And I think given another term, Alan Chastney, we definitely will see a new St. Lucia and a better St. Lucia under the able leadership of Alan Chastney.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Somebody says there, too late, lady. The people voted based on skin color, lies, half-truths, fascination with men of poor character, and ill reputation. And here we are with the current administration. Continuing with that contribution, more interested in what's going on in the United Workers' Party camp over leading the country. Okay, let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, jump high, jump low. Alan is the only prime minister can bring St. Lucia back. SLP kill the country. Alan must come back. People, don't let the SLP fool you. Let's see more of your contributions via your WhatsApp messages and of course your calls. Let's see. Somebody says there, we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air?
Tim, sorry for calling back.
No, caller. No. Thank you so much, Mr. Bermuda. We have to move on. Thank you so much. WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. Like in all what the people are saying, like Alan Chastney had vision, Alan Chastney bring the country to like 12% growth. And like up to a day like today, we are not seeing nothing at all. And like in 1 year, the Labour Party already bring the country to a mess, and y'all cannot like live with it. And like I can't understand, like in 1 year, what is it Labour Party do already? They borrow money. All the money that borrow in this country, all the debt we have in this country is from Alan Chastney.
Okay, Colin, now hold up there. Hold on there. No. Colin, let me fact check. Let me fact check you. All the debt of over $4 billion would have accumulated during the reign of SLP and UWP administrations, caller. Your Tulede Poete La Hansa, over $4 billion. So don't say it's only one government, it's SLP or UWP. All of them borrowed, okay?
Now,
continue.
If you was a great leader, you asked for 3 years to turn this country in a mess. What mess can Anthony put the country? Check the stadium in Beaufort, because all the time I used to call, I never knew the stadium was in a mess. And now I am St. Lucia now. And I go into Beaufort and I see that stadium in a mess on cover, like, and what? You just leave it like that.
So hold on. So Mr. Canada, you in St. Lucia now?
I'm in St. Lucia now.
Oh, welcome, my brother. Continue.
Thank you. Yeah. The prison breakdown, nothing has been done. The old hospital breakdown, nothing has been done. So, if you as a great leader, you will be in power up to a day like today. They make a landslide with you. And a great leader will never get fall like that bad. I can understand you lose the election, but not that bad. If you are a great leader and you have great vision. Why? So, when people are talking and saying things, like Alan, right, okay, when Alan Chastney was acting about 3 years to turn this country, what did they say about it? And Labour Party just 1 year. 1 year in government. All the promise Alan Chastney was giving during the campaign, nobody talk about it. Until I keep hearing news playing like Labour Party clip. Like I asked myself if Alan Chastney or the UWP, they have no clips that you can play. Thank you. That's my take.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. And here's hoping that you will enjoy your stay in St. Lucia, Mr. Canada. Just wish that Mr. Bermuda was on the island, I'd invite you two guys to be my guests on NewsSpin. But it will not amount to anything to have only one of you individuals on NewsSpin. We need both of you. That will make for a great contest. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
I just want to answer the last caller and say what he's saying about if Alan was a great leader, Alan would still be there. He must understand what that happened with that election. Okay? Alan didn't lose that election, and all of them know that Alan never lost that election. And I rest my case. That's all I have to tell them.
Okay, thank you so much. But you have not convinced me, caller, just saying that he did not lose, when we all know that the democratic process that we have in St. Lucia is one that is stellar, that is above board. We have never had any general election in St. Lucia after the contest for us to hear that, votes were stolen and they were misappropriated, any kind of illegal acts pertaining to the Elections Act, etc., etc. So I don't understand it when you say that Mr. Alan Chastney did not lose the election. As far as the records show, he lost 15-2. Let's take another call via WhatsApp. Somebody's calling from the diaspora as we say hello. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. The caller that called about Alan a while ago, I think he's very ignorant. Because first of all, Pierre, the stadium you're talking about, why didn't he ask Pierre to fix that stadium right now? Pierre was there for 25 years. He didn't do anything for St. Lucia. I think he's very ignorant towards Alan Chastney. Alan Chastney did enough for St. Lucia throughout the COVID-19. So when they're talking about him, he's the greatest prime minister St. Lucia ever had. So he's very ignorant. I think you should have cut up that call from him.
Okay, caller.
That's all I have to contribute.
All right. Thank you so much. And she is a very good-looking lady calling from the diaspora. So we have people from the diaspora returning to St. Lucia in Mr. Canada. Earlier on, you heard from Mr. Bermuda, and now we have another caller from a St. Lucian who is living overseas. Let's continue with your calls. Who will the next caller be? Somebody from Dennery, Ancillary, Soufriere, Canaries, or somebody from New York, Canada, or maybe from St. Thomas from the UK. We have a call, as we say, via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you, caller. Where are you calling from?
I am not calling from the diaspora team. I'm calling right here from St. Lucia.
Okay, where in St. Lucia, ma'am?
Beaufort.
How is Beaufort? Quiet?
Good, good.
No gunshots?
No.
Everybody safe? Everybody safe?
I've not heard any in a few days.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Your Canada caller. Tell him I say, when you will learn to pronounce Canada, okay, the proper way, I want him to continue to call NewsSpin and Bad Talk Alan. But until then, Canada, tell him I say, real and come again. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. All right. We don't like the maple, okay? I mean, Canada, tomato, lettuce, potato, patat. It's the same thing. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Tim. We must say, at least he's a hard-working man. You know, you see, that's the problem I have with our solution. If you're drinking rum by the market, you sit there all day drinking away, your salary away. They will turn and malparler you. You go out, you do something, maybe you might not be as good as some people maybe when it comes to your education level. They're still trying to bring it down, you know? That is our people in this country. They never try to elevate people. He made a mistake. Help him. Tell him. Don't criticize him or bring him down. Let us help each other. We are all solutions. You know, that is one of my cry to solutions. Let us help each other. We are not the same. You know,
We are all here serving a purpose in this world. And let us try to do it positive. Tim, my whole thing about it, some of the United Workers' Party cannot admit right now that they lost the election. I'm sure they like to say it. I know for me, I fought all out, to get the United Workers' Party out of power, Tim. Because there was a lot of things that was not right, Tim. And if I have to do it to the Solution Labour Party, I will do it, Tim. If for the 5 years that they'll be inside of their team and they're not ready, Tim, I will be kicking them out. Same speed. While here, this is my party, but I look at country first, Tim. My grandchildren, my children, our little young ones, the hungry, needing ones in the area, Tim. Those people is on my door. They come sometime on the morning and ask me something to eat. I wake up with them in the ghetto, Tim. I sleep around them, Tim. I know the people. You understand? So when people actually say, talking from up there and criticizing, a development that have not been actually kicked out yet, where Philip J. Pierre is trying his best, his utmost best. He is right now, there's no problem in his cabinet. As far as I know for now, there's no problem. Philip J. Pierre is actually putting things in place. As I told you the other day, Philip J. Pierre is not a talker. Philip J. Pierre is an actor. And there will be time for action. I realize him, Philip is just borrowing money just so. This is one prime minister, that actually every cent that man spent must make sense, Must make sense. And the United Workers' Party people I'm not telling you not to criticize the man when he's doing something wrong. But don't just come and criticize everything and the man is the worst man and the man can't speak. Last night I was listening to a radio station and you know what I heard the fellas say? That the Solution Labour Party supporters wanted to burn down the station, Tim, I heard that. I said, what? These are the kind of thing our people are preaching out at him. Tim, if I am a member of the Solution Labour Party and I hear something like that, Tim, I will be the first to run out. Because I will be fighting my own brothers, Tim, my own sisters. We are St. Lucians together. And if the Labour Party is doing something wrong, whether you're a supporter of the Labour Party, you need to come out and tell them. That's why we have all the robberies and all the bad things going on. Because once the bribery is in our pocket, we could get 2 contracts, we could get how many this, how many that, it's okay. But when another party come in and they give to their people, it's not okay. But if it is wrong, Tim, across the board, let us say it is wrong. Tim, have a nice day, sir.
You too, sir. Thank you. Somebody says John Compton lost as a great and visionary leader. He lost in 1979. He continued to be party leader. He sat on the opposition benches, and that made him an even better leader. He regained the office of Prime Minister, and even posthumously, he can still be voted in as leader. Alan Chastney needs to learn some hard lessons, but he can find redemption in another PM term. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says, Alan is one of the best to run the country. Deriso is looking great. And we have some more of your messages. Somebody says, Tim, do you have any updates on the passport office? My passport has been there since May. I need it. Well, caller, I don't think that the situation is getting any better at the immigration department because just recently reported that there was a sick out there, and there's hoping that the situation will improve because many of you out there were suffering who need your passports either to travel or as a form of ID. I think we have a call. Somebody's holding on? No, 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026 or 716-2026. Somebody says they've been watching and listening to NewsSpin a while now. Can you send birthday wishes to Miss Dana Etienne of Year 4? Please, it's her birthday today. Love, peace, blessings, health, strength, guidance, protection from her loved ones and families. Lots of love to her please and thanks. So once again, birthday greetings going out to Ms. Dana Etienne of Vieux. If you're listening right now, here's hoping that you are celebrating your birthday, and this is coming from all your friends and relatives. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Yes, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, I'm calling from Soufrière.
Yes, sir. Thanks for calling.
I'm actually from Denver, but I'm calling from Soufrière. We just had a serious accident on the Sugar Beach Road.
Yeah.
Next to the Piton Falls. Yeah, it was they're foreigners. They actually they were driving up the hill with a car, and that car seems to lose power. But the driver was able to control the vehicle. At a certain point, that car went down the road about almost 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
In reverse. Just imagine that Sugar Beach area, right? And he actually hit on a tree in reverse. But nothing really serious happened to anybody. But there's one lady that is still in the vehicle. She's a bit she's conscious. She's talking.
Okay.
But she's I don't know what she's just in injuries to her legs or so.
But you've called the emergency personnel, ambulance. Okay.
Yes, we've done that. I've done that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, just they're ready. I can head there from a distance.
Okay. Thank you so much for that update, sir, and all the best to you.
Yeah. You're okay. Thanks.
All right. Just heard of an accident occurring in the Sugar Beach area that's over in Vieux. Some foreign nationals driving a vehicle, and apparently the vehicle, according to what you just heard, crashed into a tree. We hope that no one suffered any serious injuries. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let me tell you, when last you take a ride to Masha?
I drove through the area just, let's say, on Sunday.
Sunday. You see the state of the road?
Yes, it's bad.
So you not only the road, you see the state of Masha right now?
And
that's the Prime Minister constituency, right?
His constituency, yeah.
Yeah, his constituency. Right? That's his constituency. So why Masha in that state? Right at the road, some big holes. You see the big holes that's in the road?
Yes, well, I drove there, I saw it.
Yeah, so what happened there now? That's our Prime Minister, That's his road,
So you're calling on him and Mr. Stevenson King to address that problem, right?
Yeah, they have to address that problem because I driving on that road to go and to see my mother, and that road real bad.
Yeah.
And I have to be getting away holes, going down in holes, and that National by vehicle. You understand? Marshall Road has never been fixed for years, my brother. For years. I live Marshall for years. I live Marshall now, I gone. You understand? And my mother live in Tripoli, and I just go back and forth there. You understand? And that road is bad, man. Bad. So are you calling on Philip JPA if he's listening? Or somebody that could just deal with that? Fix the road with proper sidewalks so people to walk and do something in the area. The area is the same way for years. And how long Philip JPA? 25 years plus. You understand? And I see them fellas naming road after whoever, and they're not fixing the road. If you're naming roads, you're naming roads after, you're supposed to fix the road. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, caller.
So I need that road fixed, man. That road needs fixing bad. And not only that road, the Millennium Highway also.
Yeah.
Some big holes in the road there, man. Some big holes. You understand? You can't even get away holes in the road. You have to go down in it. And these two roads I use very frequently, very often. Sorry. You understand? I'm so pissed off, right now.
Here's hoping that the Prime Minister will act upon your concerns, caller.
Yeah, especially that Marshall Road.
Okay. All right, caller. Thank you so much. But somebody in the chat room says, people don't eat roads. Somebody else says, we're not eating roads. When we come back, we'll be hearing from Prime Minister Philip JPA, comments that he made just about an hour ago. Stay with us. You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube and listening to us on Power 97.9 FM.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Bundle, bundle, yeah. Bundle, bundle, floor. Bundle, 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 save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up, tap up, tap up, tap up, tap up. Look at the place covered. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want.
Win big with Flow! Tickets to the biggest shows, waterpark passes, costumes, over $20,000 in cash, data, and more! Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day combo plan. Pay up your bill, switch to Flow, bundle up your chance to win every day!
Bundle, bundle, yeah! Bundle, bundle. Bundle, 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 save. Tap up, yeah! Tap up, mad! Tap up, tap up, tap up, tap up, tap up. Look at the place covered. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want. Look at the place covered. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch what you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for only $99. Switch now!
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of caring.
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly.
First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far. The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Oh, yeah. Every day we're making better, faster and smarter, convenience like no other.
First National Bank,
the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
We'll go far. For decades every day, it's clear, it's true.
First National Bank, we're here for you.
What is the strategy that will be looked to be implemented for the youth economy to ensure that access to funding reaches the block to fast-track them to the boardroom?
The answer to that is communication. We will have to get there and speak to people, almost like a campaign. You see, the problem with the block is the problem of trust. The people in the block do not trust the system. They think the system takes too long and the system always conspires against them. So we have to communicate. We have to make them understand that this thing is for you. And as the president says, you are the future leaders, even if you are on the block now. And that takes me to another issue of people being stigmatized because of where they live. And this is something we really have to deal with. Your dress should not determine your character or your future. And the ghetto should not be a ghetto. In fact, the ghetto is in your mind and not where you live.
What is the strategy that will be looked to be implemented for the youth economy to ensure that access to funding reaches the block to fast-track them to the boardroom?
The answer to that is communication. We will have to get there and speak to people, almost like a campaign. You see, the problem with the bloc is the problem of trust. The people in the bloc do not trust the system. They think the system takes too long and the system always conspires against them. So we have to communicate. We have to make them understand that this thing is for you. And as the president says, you are the future leaders, even if you are on the block now. And that takes me to another issue of people being stigmatized because of where they live. And this is something we really have to deal with. Your dress should not determine your character or your future. And the ghetto should not be a ghetto. In fact, the ghetto is in your mind and not where you live.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre speaking earlier today at the press launch of the 53rd annual meeting of the Caribbean Development Bank. That meeting is taking place in St. Lucia right now, and it's scheduled to continue in June of 2023. And by the way, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance is now the chairman of the Caribbean Development Bank. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, the worst thing to happen to a people is to elect a leader with sight but no vision. Okay, that's a WhatsApp message. Okay, let me turn my attention now to a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Okay, the call dropped, but continue to call us once again at 716-2026, 716-2026, and also 452-2979. Okay, somebody says that the roads do not fool people's belly. That's a WhatsApp message. Another person says, Alan needs to go because he made a certain individual run the country broke. Preville would be a better leader. Thank you so much for that WhatsApp message. Let me see now. What is taking place in the chat room in terms of some of your comments there? What are you saying? Some of the opinions expressed there. Well, I could share it with the rest of the world. Let me go through some of them. Somebody says there in the chat room. Okay, I'm trying to get something that I could share with you. Please bear with me. Okay, let's take a call instead. Good afternoon to you via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon.
That recording you just played there, was that truly Philip J. Pierre's statement? What has he been doing in Marshall for the past 25 years? Not speaking to the people up there or being above them. That's my contribution.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for calling. I think we have somebody else on the line. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for holding on. You're now on the air.
Hi, Timothy. Good afternoon to you, my brother.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
All right. Timothy, they had a caller that called earlier on, and he was talking about, well, definitely, he was talking about if his party is doing something wrong, that he will put them out. Timothy, that's a joke. This guy will never, in a lifetime, if this government is doing anything wrong, he's going to put them out. Because he's a full-blown supporter of the Labour Party. So whatever his party is doing, he's in full support. And the other thing that he said, that people need to give the government, the Prime Minister, a chance. Everybody keep complaining. When Alan was in power, from day one, they were complaining. From the very first day Alan became Prime Minister, they were hitting. So the people of St. Lucia have the right to complain, and they have the right to put pressure on the government, basically. The government ought to perform, understand? So the people of St. Lucia have that right to put pressure. The same amount of pressure that they put on Alan, they should put the same amount of pressure on Philip J. Pierre. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Okay, what is happening in the chat room there? Somebody says, I don't have a ghetto in my mind. I have a little Miami. And that's extracted from the chat room. Somebody says, many say the Prime Minister has no vision. St. Lucians need to define vision. Give the Prime Minister a chance. He will deliver. Comments in the chat room. Somebody says, yes, we voted a visionary who left us behind and developed. Okay, let's see if we have another comment there. In the chat room, some more of your comments. Let me see what I could go through there. Somebody says, UWP has no continuity other than Shas. The barrel is empty. Okay, so you don't believe that, for example, as is being suggested in certain quarters, Mr. Bradley Felix can also be a good United Workers' Party political leader? In the chat room, somebody says the youth economy also consists of young buyers. How can they buy when things are high? And most of the young people do not make much money. The economy cannot grow. And somebody in response says, say it loud. Let's see if we have another comment there in the chat room to go through. Lots of comments, but whether we should be reading it on the air, whether it's something that we should be sharing with the rest of the world. Somebody says the ghetto on the block has no understanding. Say what? Okay, let's see if we have another comment. We voted a visionary leader who developed the entire country. So as a product of Marshall, I am very proud of what he did. Another person says we do not want no freaking little Miami. That's from the chat room. And let's see there. I never changed, my friend. I believe in accountability and fairness, and my life reflects that. Nothing personal, my friend, but this is a platform for persons to voice their concerns with an open mind. And the person continues, I'm surprised at your comment, and what does my true colors have to do with my right to make a contribution? I would suggest you read the 26 indispensable laws of leadership. You cannot be responsible for people's lives in a democratic state and expect people to have tunnel vision and accept everything. Have you ever heard of the phrase, if you don't take a stand for something, you will fall for everything? It seems that is where many solutions are. My friend, you personally have said that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Stop flip-flopping. Leaders are not beyond reproach, my friend. It comes with the territory. Don't be blinded with party politics and biases, because I am not. I love St. Lucia, and when the country does well, all of us St. Lucians will benefit. Another person says, did they give Chasney a chance? Stop the hypocrisy. Let's see. More of your messages in the chat room. No Tim Bradley too docile. Not enough bite. Alright, somebody says as well. He said he's readied. Now give him a chance. Another comment. I love Flex, but no, he is not Prime Minister. Somebody says they're Gale for leader. And another person says, Tim, not Marshall, but Miku North. Let's see if we have some more of your comments. Yes, I have a little Miami in my mind. Okay, let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin news of the day. Our NewsSpin news of the day, and it reads, human remains found in suitcase bought at auction. New Zealand police are investigating. Once again, our NewsSpin news of the day. Human remains found in suitcase bought at auction. New Zealand police are investigating. A call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Tim.
Hi, Rick. Good afternoon to you.
Your big subject is one that normally I would keep to myself and say nothing. And if I'm going to do anything right about it, or maybe on a show, discuss it. But I just cannot resist. And I just heard the gentleman make his statement there as well. The United Workers' Party, Tim, if it is famous for anything, it's cannibalizing its young, its people. We've had ample evidence of that, and I'm sure the people listening will know what I mean by that. It ate up and abandoned vulnerable in his hour of need. Do you remember that?
Of course, I do.
UWPs were getting as much glee out of Tumu Soup as the Labour Party was. And I was on that side, I was on the Labour Party side. But UWPs were getting as much glee out of that, making jokes about it, and Vaughan. So Vaughan had no real support, even from his own party then.
And the UWP have a notorious habit of saying nothing, and when they find themselves with nothing else to hang on to, they just don't turn out to vote. That election, the United Workers' Party lost it for itself. They did not come out to vote. They believed, without the tangible evidence, everything they were told. Now, before anybody says this is a pitch for Alan Chasney, let me clear mine. I have a lot of grievances against Alan Chasney, personally. But I can't point to anybody else that I couldn't point a finger at with the same grievances and more. Okay? Look at how many people that we thought were devils and villains over the years, not just the last election, and then because they moved to the right party, embraced St. Michael, sainthood, bestowed, water under the bridge, and all that kind of stuff. If one even used the words when he moved to the market, water under the bridge. Kenny Anthony sued him. Kenny Anthony called him a crook. It's on the internet. Kenny Anthony thinks he's the worst, the Labour Party thinks he's the worst prime minister. I mean, the nasty thing, that is on the internet and in the newspapers now forever, for generations of Von Lucis to come, the children, they will see that there and worse. Okay, Tim?
Yeah.
I cannot think of, I have to be, in this case, Philip, I have to put him in a special thing for discussion on its own, if you get my drift, on its own discussion, because it's a different kind. That doesn't mean he's a saint, he's different from the rest. But the worst you can say in that situation, all the problems I have, personal things I have about Alan Chasney, attitudes to this, there are worse attitudes among all the other politicians still. So it is basically choosing the best of the worst. You get what I'm saying? That is as far as I will go. The United Workers' Party has nobody in the wing with Alan's talents as a politician. And don't make out any politician to be saint and wonderful and no sin. That's not true. They're all bloody sinners. The mere idea of wanting to go into politics is wanting to get into the pool of corruption. There's no such thing as a pure politician. English words have different meanings in the political lexicon. Words like expedient take the place of the words like truth, and so on and so on. So I would say that unless they can come up with somebody with Alan Chasney's gift for the gab, if some might want to call it his gift of bullshitting, but then that's what political talk is, bullshitting, making promises they can't keep. Look at it, you heard the guy you spoke to you a while ago? So as thinking only as a party, for a party, I think it's almost a joke to figure on replacing Alan Chasney as leader by any, I'm no big fan of Minerva, what's her name? But it was ironic when she said that Alan Chasney is the best person to lead the United Workers' Party. I think that's what she said.
Yeah.
So examine it. It doesn't mean that Alan Chasney is wonderful. It means out of what's there, he's by far the best. You get my point, Jim?
Yes, I do.
It doesn't mean he's great.
And the same obtained for Philip J. Pierre when he was elected political leader of the SLP. At the time, I think he was the best individual for that position.
Jim, let me make a confession, please. I believed if there was one guy who might be able to change St. Lucia, of course that was ridiculous because St. Lucia cannot be changed.
You believe it was Kenny?
No.
Okay.
Because Kenny just changed. I thought kind of it a little bit because of his intellectual capacity back in the day. I thought, but Kenny soon showed within 1 year I was wrong about him. Don't forget if I had the senators because I spoke my mind, etc. Philip Pierre, I've said that before, Philip Pierre really believes in the idea of helping the poor guy. He believes that, Tim. I know the man a long time. I don't believe he can do it because we're not some kind of socialist state with a lot of money, and we don't have the money for Philip's dream. But by the things Philip would say and so on, I anticipated he would pat down all the hate and all the whatever. But then I also came to realize that one man in a cabinet can't do that. You cannot do it. It has to be consensus here. So St. Lucia is in deep shit, and the UWP would be in serious trouble if it treats the matter of its leadership casually. And I repeat, I am not saying for 1 minute Alan Chastney is without sin. I'm just telling you that his virtues are far more than those in there who would like to replace him. Somebody comes up tomorrow, I might change my mind altogether and say, oh, that guy has potential, that guy's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just think, what other guy have you heard talk on the issues? What other guy have you heard come out and be bold and speak his mind to the public? What other guy you know?
I can't think of any, Rick. And also, I believe that die-hard supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party are fearful that if the United Workers' Party keeps Alan Chastney at the helm, that he can defeat the SLP come the next elections. That's what it is.
But just think of that. Alan Chastney on his own is holding 15 guys at bay. Alan Chastney on his own team.
Yeah.
15 guys at bay. Let me say something that might astound people as well. You see Richard Frederick? Richard Frederick is unique. Richard Frederick is Richard Frederick. Richard Frederick has his following, and Richard Frederick has been around a long time too. Let's not forget that. We tend to think Richard Frederick just came around yesterday. Richard Frederick has people have embraced him as Richard Frederick. So it's not even worth criticizing Richard Frederick. That's a waste of time. Richard Frederick, in his circumstances, is unique. Now, do you understand what I'm saying there?
I'm taking it in.
I'm not putting any brush, I'm not polishing him, I'm not putting lipstick on him. Richard Frederick is Richard Frederick to the people who elected him. For how much longer, I don't know, because even he has complained that these people are seeing him like some kind of godfather and coming to him, I voted for you, therefore I want this and want that. You know, you've heard him. Mm-hmm. You know, he's cussed them off on that. So I don't know how much longer. But the idea of concentrating on Richard Frederick to criticize you is no waste of time. Because Richard Frederick's base wants Richard Frederick. But the UWP has to do some serious thinking. And while I don't give a damn about party or even the individuals at my age especially, you know, I might not be around for the next election team. Who knows? The number of people who are pegging out, you know, I might not be there. But while I'm there, I want to go on the record and say that the UWP has to get off its ass and stop eating itself and its family and whatever. And if they have to haul Alan Chastney over the coals and tell him off and make arrangements with him that if you promise this and you don't do that, this is going to be the consequence. All of those things that party has to do, and think 100 times before they replace Alan Chastney with any of the guys we now know or any of those you hear hanging around the periphery. I hope that does not make me a UWP or SLP. That is Rick Wynn talking.
Thank you so much, Rick, for your contribution. And let's listen to Alan Chastney just speaking, I think it was in June, when he was asked a question about possibly losing the leadership of the United Workers' Party. Just a brief comment from him.
Whatever my party decides, I will support. I've indicated to my party and to my colleagues, after I had taken my break, I was satisfied that I had no anger in me. I was satisfied that I have no regrets in me, there's no resentment, and that I remain personally very committed to the goals that we had in pushing this country forward. Whatever my party decides, I will support. I've indicated to my party and to my colleagues, after I had taken my break, I was satisfied that I had no anger in me. I was satisfied that I have no regrets in me, there's no resentment, and that I remain personally very committed to the goals that we had in pushing this country forward.
That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as on YouTube, and thank you so much for listening on Power 97.9 FM. Our programming continues with a news update and then the Power Drive. My name is Timothy Poleon. I'll be back, God willing, tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30, with another edition of NewsSpin.